This is part 2 on a presentation on how to create a concept map using Microsoft Word. For this example, I'm going to start creating a concept map that relates to the nursing process using the Shapes method. In order to do that, I'm going to click on the Insert tab on the ribbon, click on Shapes, and then insert the shape of my choice. For this example, I'm going to insert a circle. I'm going to draw the circle onto my page, and then I want to format it to be a different color, and I'm going to choose purple. In the middle of this circle, I'm going to type nursing process. I'd like for the words to look a little bit bigger, so I'm going to select the whole shape, go up to the Home tab, and change the number in the font section to a bigger number, choosing number 18. Now I notice that my circle isn't a perfect circle, so I'm going to go back to the Format tab under Drawing Tools, go to the Height and the Width section on the far right. I'm going to change the height to 2 inches and the width to 2 inches. Now I have a perfect circle that's a little bit larger. Now that I have the first shape in my concept map placed, I'm going to insert my second shape, which will feed off of that first shape. Go to the Insert button, hit the Shapes, and I'm going to select another circle and draw it onto my page. Now, I want to make sure that it is a perfect circle, so I'm going to go to Size and change it to 1.5 inches for height and 1.5 inches for width. As you can see, the circle is sitting on top of my other one, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to move it up a little bit. At this point, I'm going to type what I want this circle to represent, which is assessment. Now, I'm going to change the color to be a lime green color. Next, I want to talk about the different components that go into assessment. So I'm going to draw different shapes to add on to that. When I go to the Insert tab and I go down to Shapes, I'm going to actually select a square to choose to add on to these areas. My first square is going to represent collect data. And then I'm going to right click on this to copy it, and then right click somewhere else on my page to paste it. So this way I can create the same sized box over and over again. Now I want to format it so it looks a little bit differently. So I'm going to select them all by holding down my Control key. Go to the Format Drawing Tools, change this to I think a blue color. Then I want to change the font to bold, and I want to change the font style to Arial black. Now, the second one isn't going to say collect data. Instead, it's going to say validate data. And the third one is not going to say collect data. It's going to say organize data. Alright, the next thing I want to do is draw some arrows to show how things are connected. So I'm going to insert a shape and an arrow. I'm going to draw my arrow. And instead of being the color blue, I'd like to choose the color green, a little bit thicker. And now I'm going to copy this shape and then paste it so that I can have the same formatting over and over again. Make it a little bit smaller. And then paste it one more time. I can move it. There we go. Now that I've got this step completed, I want to go to the next step, which is diagnosis. And I'm going to select assessment so that I can copy it. And then right click and paste it. And then I'll drag it over to where I want it to go, which is the next area. Now I want assessment not to be black, I want it to be white so that it matches my other one. So I'm going to select that and change the font color to white. And then I want to draw an arrow that connects the two, saying that you go from assessment to the next one. And instead of this saying assessment, it should say diagnosis. Alright, I'm going to copy this arrow, I'm going to paste it, and move it down to show that it's moving to this other area. Now, I don't really like that this is all the same color of arrow. So instead, I'm going to select these three up top by holding down my Control key, and I'm going to change them to the color blue instead. That way it'll show that those arrows mean something different than my green arrow. Now, I would keep going and making the process more complete by adding more shapes and more arrows to continue the nursing process. But this gives you an idea about how to format and create your own concept map using Microsoft Word.